We've left the village behind, tamed the monster, and now we arrive in Warsaw to bury our father. But peace isn't on the cards. The city's crawling with anti-thaumaturge mobs, shady figures asking about our father and how he died, a reporter with a cameraman and an agenda. We reconnect with our sister and uncle.
Are you coming with us?
Join me as we dive deeper into the world of the Thaumaturge. Hi and welcome back to the Midlife Gamers channel, and this is the Thaumaturge. We're diving into episode 3 today, picking up right after the prologue where we managed to tame the Book of Act, thanks in part to Rasputin, but I think I did all the hard work. The mystery of the village elder's death is now behind us, unsolved, and now it's time to see what Warsaw has waiting. The reason for our visit is the unfortunate passing of Victor's father. From what we've gathered so far though, that relationship wasn't exactly a warm one. However, quick recap, something at the end of the last episode was still playing on my mind. There was an implication that Vesna was actually the daughter of the village elder. I wasn't completely sure I understood that correctly, so I went back through my recorded footage to double check. It was still a little vague to me at first, but I did notice something else. I saw a door marker on the map that I'd missed before. I loaded up an early save and found another small side quest that I've completely missed. It was more of an interaction than a quest really, with a wise woman in the village. Quick spoiler warning here. This is a playthrough, so you're gonna see spoilers. So this is a bit of a heads up. If you're wanting to discover things for yourself, then maybe you want to click to a different time marker in the video series, or maybe this isn't the video series for you. Anyway, following that interaction, it turns out the wise woman had a curse, or maybe even a spell on the village elder. The reason, well, even though he was respected as the village leader, behind closed doors he was actually quite cruel towards his daughter, Vesna. That's the part of the story I've totally missed in my first run, so just to be clear, we are continuing today from my main save. The quest line was found in a separate save file, so anything that happens here won't be connected to that discovery directly. Still, I'm actually glad I went back because now it all kind of makes a lot more sense. We can confirm that Vesna was the village elder's daughter, and honestly, knowing what she went through, I'm not feeling quite as bad about how the storyline now played out. Now that said, and most probably didn't need to be said, let's jump back in and see what awaits us in Warsaw. Okay, let's get back into it. So we arrived at Warsaw train station, and judging by the newspapers we read on the way here, it looks like there's been a bit of unrest tied to the Tsar's visit. So quite possibly angry mobs are here to welcome us. Before we do move on, I'm just going to have a quick scout around the platform. You never know, we might find a hidden note or a bit of lore to give us that extra XP. But so far, it doesn't look like there's much to dig into here. So with nothing else catching my eye, it's time to head out and see what Warsaw has in store for us. We've arrived in Warsaw train station now, and it does say Vienna station at the bottom there, and Vienna is in Austria, right? We are in Poland, aren't we? Unless the actual name of Warsaw train station is the Vienna station, which is confusing to me. Oh, I don't know. Answers on a postcard. As stated in the previous episode, what I'm going to do, or should I say what I'm not going to do, is start reading out all the narrative and literature we find. I'm going to leave it on screen briefly. If you wish to pause and have a little bit of a read through, you can. I may comment on the general tone of what we can read. So the Warsaw Courier there is talking about the Tsar's visit and the streets lined with flowers, people supposedly overjoyed. Seems a bit of a different view to what we read on the train, so maybe it's a bit of a propaganda paper. Found some more leaflets here too. Looks like revolutionary material. They're basically calling for fairer work conditions, similar to what we've already got in places like Germany and England. Another quick look around the station, don't want to miss anything. Got a menu here with borscht on it. Never heard of the stuff until recently. That was actually the name of an NPC in the last game I played. Well, that's a weird coincidence. And we got a little bit of experience for it too. Looks like there's more stairs here, maybe heading back down to the railway platform. Hard to tell really, doesn't look like there's an actual way to access it here, so that might be everything worth checking out in this area. Can't see a great deal of anything else. See, I'm an absolute for this because I'll just try and search everywhere, make sure I've not missed anything, so apologies. See, we've got a couple more things to look at here, another newspaper. Oh, so this one's actually saying there's a protest going on at the moment against thaumaturges. Yeah, they're saying they condemn the thaumaturges and charlatans and menace to humanity. Oh dear, that's sort of what we ought to read. I guess I best be careful I don't mention my powers to too many people here. And we do have another thaumaturgy point to spend. Currently we're sitting in 3 points of deed and 2 in heart. Okay, we've got a couple of options to consider here. We've got perfectionism, which makes every attack on the enemy deal the maximum damage possible. Then there's lucky chance, gives us 60% chance to slow down enemies' actions. That one sounds tempting. Ooh, so this is showing us here the skills that the Book of Act gives us. Looks like we get Doom in the mix, which already sounds like bad news for somebody there. And a few other solid abilities there too. Alright, so the Book of Act throwdown and the Vesna arc left their mark quite literally. We've picked up a flaw, Vehemence. It's actually boosted our deed stat by 1, so despite being a flaw, that's a win for us. So, despite all that, we still haven't answered the real question at hand, and that is where am I putting this next skill point? I think I'm going to go with Lucky Chance. That's 60% to slow the enemy's actions, which is pretty solid. Plus, it bumps our mind stat up to 2, which isn't a bad thing. Okay, we've got the upgrade, now we just need a skill to slot it in, and it looks like every skill already has an upgrade assigned, so what's our play here? Do we reshuffle? I think I'm going to have to pull one to make room. Let's have a look. So I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put my lucky chance into the damage over time slot. So that means I've had to remove my FIFA Fort upgrade, and I'm going to drop relaxation and put the FIFA Fort in my strong attack for the time being. I am kind of feeling this hours ago, but if you've got any tips or advice on builds, paths, strategies, etc., drop them in the comments so I can have a look at them and see what's working for you guys. There's a wanted notice on the wall here. So what we've got? We've got leader of the Shivs gang, wanted for theft, murder. You know, the usual resume for a back alley scoundrel. Best bookmark that phase, because if this game's got any sense of drama, you know, we're going to be trading blows with him before long. Alright, we've got another leaflet here, and yeah, it's not exactly friendly. Another jab at thaumaturges. They're straight up calling us parasites this time. Safe to say we're not exactly popular around here. Feels like we're walking through Warsaw's got to be real warm and welcoming. Alright, it's time we stop haunting this station like a lost commuter ghost. I think we've picked the place clean from here. Let's head outside and see what's waiting for us beyond these walls. Act 1, the city that does not forget. Here we go.
Why such a crowd?
The circus has come to town.
These are troubled times. Brothers turn against brothers. Russia has had enough bloodshed. The violence must stop. when socialists attempt to divide Russia and her subject nations, to dent the sword that smote the enemy at Grunwald. This demands my decisive action. Thus, by my grace, I hereby appoint as Governor General of Warsaw, Georgi Antonovich Skowon.
A butcher.
Not a popular guy, I presume.
I see you ain't from here. That swine keeps a photo album of all the folks he's had shot at the Citadel.
Before and after execution.
And yeah, the guy lives up to his nickname, the Butcher, by the sounds of it. That's brutal description.
Warsaw! The time for leniency and indulgence is over. From the moment this office is bestowed on me, no forces hostile to the subjects of Greater Russia will have any further right to exist. None! Whether it be brutal socialist subversives, communists, Jews, or other satanic provocators.
He sure knows how to unite a crowd.
Pardon me, are you Polish?
Why am I always so honest and upfront with people in games? Maybe I should hold something back.
Yes, I feel Polish. My name's Victor.
Wanda.
This is Russia here. Like it or not. Warsaw. Время террора закончилось.
Иди нахуй!
My first decision as Governor General of Warsaw. Arrestovать.
Oh dear, maybe you should have just kept your mouth button there.
Great heroes in their sense of timing. Of course, now they're the first ones in the fight.
Samoobladanie, Buryaki. We want that rebel. The loudmouth.
Damn.
What happened?
Be a gentleman. Please kneel and tie my shoe.
Who does she think I am? Kneel and tie her shoe? Yeah, nah, I don't kneel for anybody. I'm going to take the proud response here, letting him know I'm not one of her lackeys.
That seems more like a job for the servants, young lady.
Go ahead. Look down. Can I ask you a tiny favor? The Russians can't find out about this. The military is just looking for an excuse to suppress the crowd, and these workers are dreaming of thrashing a Russian gendarme.
Either one of you confesses to disturbing the peace, or всех забирай. We'll take you all in.
You can't handle all of us.
Can you get us out of here?
I think I'm open to any kind of suggestion.
With a book like that, I'd find out what would convince one of these bastards to let us go. Or I'd take on that self-appointed leader of the proletariat.
Interesting strategy. Who are you, really?
A damsel in distress.
Those don't usually hide ammunition in their stockings.
Can I explain it to you another time?
For instance, I could disclose to a soldier that you came here with ammunition under your skirt.
Maybe we should see who they believe. A respected lady of Warsaw, or a common magician who just 100 years ago would have been burned at the stake.
Well, since you asked so nicely, I'm going to take a look around.
So it sounds like I'm not buying her act there, but I guess for the time being we need to just play along and try and find a way out of here.
Do you think it's a good idea to stir people up and send them to face bullets and bayonets?
What do you want then? My whole life on my knees? Kissing Ruski's ass?
Do you realize blood is about to be spilled? And that it might be mine? Fuck off!
Wow, we're really not making many friends here today, are we? So he looks like he's the leader of the mob. What else we got going on here? Yeah, we can't get through that way, can we? We're gonna have to go around. Looks like one of the soldiers just wants to get home, and it looks like we need to speak to these guys here.
Pardon me, gentlemen.
The crowd has received the order. For now, zero response.
We'll give them a moment to arrest them all, book them, interrogate them. Gospodi will be home in November.
Okay, we've got a soldier desperate to get back home and looking for a scapegoat. And would you look at that? We have a perfect mark. The charming leader who told me to get lost earlier. This is about to get deliciously messy.
Gentlemen, please forgive me. Maybe there's a faster way to get this situation resolved.
Back off, Poliak, or we'll start shooting. Paniatno, scrum. Dawaj.
So we can hand Wander over to them. We can invoke your last name. Does our name carry any weight here in Warsaw? Or even with the Russians? Got a feeling that answer will be met with the same go-away attitude of the leader of the mob. Although I am tempted to add Wander over to them just for a laugh. Nah, I can't do that. It's got to be mate the sergeant accuse the worker. You know what? He had it coming to him in all fairness.
Достаточно. Should we go in and capture the worker who's mouthing off and let the rest go?
Da, sierżant. We can use anyone as an example.
Szagom marsz!
Goodbye.
You're welcome.
I wanted to thank you at our next meeting. We could use someone like you.
We? Meaning the people you were carrying ammunition for and who got you Dutch pomade for your hair.
You haven't just got pretty eyes, you know how to use them. Maybe you'll find time one day for some jam donuts at Burke Blitz's.
I mean, who doesn't love a jam donut, right? Anyway, sounds like I need to keep an eye out for this meeting place, Burke Blitz's. I'm guessing that's a cafe of some sort. Yeah, Wanda sounds like she's smuggling the bullets for the cause. Alright, let's take a look around the map, see what's happening across the city of Warsaw. I'm not the type to sprint straight to the next waypoint. I like to soak in the scenery, sniff out any of those side quests hide in, and maybe pretend I'm here for some culture before it all goes sideways. Well, I found our coach driver we can pester for unlimited taxes. carnival ball at the public casino. I wonder if we can do some gambling in this game. Looks like we can't actually go down this side of the street. It's blocked off. Well, since we're already here, I guess we'll swap sightseeing for something a little bit more grave. Off to the cemetery it is. I was hoping to poke around the town a bit more, but we'll circle back later, assuming that is the locals don't run us out first. Alright, we've landed at the cemetery. It's obviously not the best news, especially with the loss of Victor's father here. Okay, it looks like we've landed in an area with a couple of dead ends on the map. I doubt there is much here to find at the moment, but I'll have a quick look around just in case we're missing something. There is a point of interest marked to the south, and I presume that's maybe where we need to go next. For now, though, let's have a quick nosy around for any XP items. An advertisement for the local funeral parlour. Cheery stuff. No, nothing further exciting down this first dead end. Somebody's getting their picture taken. Oh, something's definitely going on here. These fellas don't look too happy either, especially this guy. His name tag literally says Shady Guy.
Excuse me, may I? I need to get to a funeral.
He's a tempermancer. Don't let him through.
Here we are, Warsaw's warmest welcome committee. Looks like we've just run into our first tempermancer hater here in the streets of Warsaw. Yeah, how he's clocked me, I have no idea, but he's not shy about sharing his opinions, and I'm not one to back down though, so time to stand tall and be prepared to let the fists do the talking.
I'm asking you kindly get out of my way before things get nasty.
Get that heretic with fire and sword.
As expected, the only proper way to deal with bullies is to educate them with fists. Check out these two though, fellow midlifers. They look like they just pulled a muscle just getting out of bed this morning. If this is the best the game can throw at us, we're golden. You can preview your and your Salutator's skills. This will help you plan your attack. You can summon another Salutor at any time. That's nice to know. A green framer on the Salutor's image means they are exceptionally effective in a fight with the given enemy. Read the description above the Salutor to find out why they will be useful at that moment. So both these guys look like they're going to bring a hook to my face, no doubt, in round 3. Okay, so looking at our Salutors, it says Upa's our guy for this fight. So let's throw him into the ring and see what he can do here. So I've decided to go with diversion for my first attack. Ooh, okay, now it's time to play old wounds and hit him with some suffering, I think. Yeah, that's got his health right down to 11 points now with the suffering state applied. With that in mind, do I switch to the second opponent for the time being in the hopes that the suffering will take care of the first one? I'm going to play the same attacks again. I'm going to go put the focus reduction on him because he does have a lot of focus, this second guy. Ouch. Got me right in the face there for 10 points of damage. Alright, I'm going to switch back to the first guys. He's only got 8 health points left, so if I can land a quick hit here, that should drop him down to at least his last couple of points. Then suffering should hopefully finish the job nicely. Yeah, that didn't exactly go to plan there. He hit me back pretty hard and took a chunk out my health bar and also my teeth. Suffering finally kicks in and drops the first guy like yesterday's laundry. Gets it. So we're down to one straggler sitting on 14 HP. I'm going to line up a planned attack here, seeing as he's only got the 14 HP. If we max it out, we can probably delete him in one swing. But it should still land before he gets his punch in. And since this might be the final round, I'm going to drag Bukovac onto the field. Gotta go with Doom here. It's a bit of a slow one, but I'm confident he'll connect before their turn. This should finish him off. Wow, look at Bukovac go. Bit him in the neck like a Salutor vampire. And yeah, the guy in the butler outfit is not happy. We just flanked his 2 shop assistants and he's definitely looking annoyed about it. Enemies can have a trait that makes them immune to your attacks. Of course they can. Traits are related to different dimensions and they can be disabled. Oh, thank God for that. So how do we do that? To disable an enemy's trait, attack with the Salutor that belongs to the same dimension as the trait. Know that if you don't have the required dimensional force, you can take away all of the opponent's focus and launch a strong attack. Okay, that's good to know. I guess otherwise we'll be punching thin air. Wow, okay, this guy's resistance is no joke. He's reducing incoming damage by 80%. That's massive. So, yeah, we need to get Uber up front there. Go into focus reduction and boost some Salutor damage for now, though. Honestly, that might not be the smartest move since our health's already sitting at 50%. So we need to try and recoup some of that health back, I think. Nice, snagged another 10 health back there, plus it slowed him down, which means we've got another move lined up. Let's drag Bukovac back from the shadows, drop another old wounds and suffering combo, then let the Salutor loose with a howl to double up that hurt, I think. Time to turn this fight into a damage overtime disaster for him. Alright, we've got another turn and he's down to just 19 hit points. With all that suffering stacked up, a quick attack should finish him off hopefully. As for Bukovac, we'll go all in straight damage. Whoa, I've just pulled out a pistol. Where'd that pistol come from? Either way, Bukovac swoops in and finished the job.
So enchanting. Spectacular. You with a scowl and a puffed out chest, and them dropping like flies in the blink of an eye? Collapsing on their own, becoming delirious? Extraordinary. Konstancja Zaborska, the Warsaw courier. Would you care to give me an interview?
Thank you, but I'm already late.
Well, we ran into some resistance towards being a thaumaturge there. The butler with the ego and his bargain bin bodyguards just learned they should probably keep their opinions to themselves. Those damage over time skills really stacked up nicely there. We do have another point to spend. What do we do here? Do I go for an extra point in word? I'm thinking we drop it into Word. That'll help balance out the build nicely for this early stage. However, it does appear we've now opened up the Agony unlock, which adds even more dot effects to our arsenal. Definitely one to keep an eye on for later. I'm not really sure where we can put this upgrade. I don't have enough skill slots to use it right now. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there for the time being. Alright, let's crack on. There's a point of interest showing up on the map here. Might as well take a quick look before heading through those gates. Let's check it out first, and we'll swing back here and carry on. So this looks like it's a point of interest. What have we got going on here? Ah, nice hot chocolate. Nothing like a sugar rush to power your next bad decision. I don't mind if I do. Well, that was a little fun arty moment there. Did a quick sketch. I think that was me, I'm not sure. Got some bonus XP, which is always nice. There's a tram stop nearby too, but I'm guessing that works to say where's a coach, so I'll leave it for now. Looks like everything else is locked off anyway, so let's wander back to where we left the butler with the attitude on the ground. Okay, that's my obituary for my father and the details of the service, so no doubt we're going to meet our sister here. Well, I would have thought so.
I'm sure you don't remember me. My name's Hayat, Mordecai Hayat. I wanted to offer my condolences.
Thank you.
Please, forgive my prying. I know Mr. Shulsky took nitroglycerin for his heart, but how did he pass away? Was that his cause of death? His heart?
Wow, nitroglycerine. I have no idea that they use that stuff in medicine. You learn something new every day. I don't actually know what caused my father's death. The real question is, why does he want to know?
Why are you so interested in my father's cause of death?
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. I'll leave you alone. I'm sure you want to bid farewell to your father.
Oh, you don't ask a question like that and then just ghost the explanation. That's straight up suspicious there for him. Still, it's interesting that you're prying into it. Is he trying to hint at something or someone played a bigger part in that?
I knew you'd turn up.
I wouldn't miss this for the world.
Stasha loved you in his own way. You look well. Ligia said you found some quack healer.
Yes, thank you.
You don't recognize me, do you? But do you remember who taught you how to shoot starlings?
Uncle Voronian, I'm sorry.
Don't worry, I probably wouldn't recognize myself anymore. Go look in on your sister, she's worried. We'll talk at home.
Sister?
Victor. I'm so glad you came. I wasn't sure if my telegram had reached you.
I'm glad too. How are you holding up?
All this caught me off guard, but for now I don't have time to think things through calmly.
Have you written to Mother?
Yes, but what can you expect? You know what Nadia is like. It was never her style to show up for family events like this. It's getting late, and we've still got the reading of Papa's will ahead of us at home. And I'll leave you two alone. I suppose you've got your own matters to clear up.
Sounds like Mother doesn't exactly want to be part of the family, and no love lost for Father either, it seems. But at least we finally got to meet our sister. Let's take a moment to say goodbye to Father before we move on.
Fine, let's get this over with. So, it was me who got it right in the end. Back then, on the train platform, was the last time we saw one another. 15 years ago. After brief suffering, fell asleep in the Lord. Brief? I hope not. Did you write this yourself? A tyrant, bigot, and liar, mistakenly absorbed, died after suffering all too briefly. That's better, and definitely closer to the truth.
Wow, Victor definitely got a grudge here.
The day you died, you visited me in my dreams. I was a child when you hounded me out of here, and I remember you as you were back then. But in my dream you looked older. You gave me hell as usual. You didn't believe I'd succeed. You were wrong. I've come back with 2 Salutors.
I know I'm to forgive him, but I know he's had a rough upbringing, but you only get one chance to say goodbye.
I'm sorry there are so many things I didn't get to say to your face. All those years, I said them over and over to myself in my head. How you were never able to admit a mistake. You never sought blame in yourself. Someone else was always guilty, never you. Mother because she wanted something for herself in life. Ligia because she wasn't born a boy. Me because I was born a thaumaturge, but I didn't want to live following your principles. And now... Farewell, Father.
Am I intruding?
What do you want?
Well, what do people come to funerals for? I came to pay my respects to the dead. Stanisław and I were acquainted. You might say I knew everything about your father. Mr. Victor Szulski, isn't it? Your absence from Warsaw has happily come to an end, I hope.
Right, so from what I can tell, if I keep picking the prideful responses, I'm basically going to turn into a bit of an a-hole, and it lock me out of some dialogue options later in the game. But on the flip side of that, if I don't build up pride at certain points, I'll also miss out on story paths and opportunities too. So honestly, I'm not totally sure how often I should be using the prideful option. I figured as the story unfolds, we'll get a bit of feel for what to lean into more. For now, I think my plan is just to use pride, mostly when I just don't like the NPC I'm talking to. I don't think it's essentially to go full jerk mode, well, at least not yet.
I haven't had time to think about it.
I understand. I hope you'll find some reason to stay here a little longer. Again, my condolences.
I didn't catch your name.
My name's Konieczkin. Ivan Konieczkin. Goodbye.
Such interesting friends you had. I guess I'm more tired than I thought.
Okay, so there's definitely a couple of people acting pretty secretive and sketchy right about now. We have that guy who we met when we first arrived on scene, and now Ivan too. He wants us to stay, but is that for our benefit or his? Hard to tell. And that little buzz at the end, yeah, that's my old spider senses kicking in there, I think. Let's give this place a bit of a sweep and see if there's anything needing our attention. So using our perception skill here, what do we find? A bouquet with a heartfelt letter signed by somebody who just goes by S. So whoever it is, they wanted to stay anonymous. We also have a wreath here from Friends in the Thaumaturge. Sounds like there is a group out there for people with similar powers to our own. A note that just says, eat dirt. Real subtle. Guess our dad left an impression on everybody for better or for worse. Well, okay, we've got another point to spend. Do I drop it into heart? I'm not totally sure about that one. Honestly, I think I'm leaning towards picking up this new skill, Agony. It sounds like it dishes out more damage over time, and that's exactly my kind of playstyle right now. So looking at our upgrades and skills here, we do have 2 damage over time skills available now. I'm going to go ahead and slot Powerful Mind in for now, just to fill that empty space. Not sure how long it's going to stay in there, but no sense leaving it blank. Right, let's get out of here. I had a bit of a quick wander around the cemetery, only came across one gravestone that gave a bit of XP, nothing too exciting. Anyway, time to figure out where we're heading next. Now, it says we're supposed to head to southern Srobmiesi. Probably butchered that, so sorry, Poland. Checking the bigger map, it actually mentions that's where you get your donuts from, so I'm guessing that's also where we'll be meeting Wanda again. For the time being, let's get out of the rain.
We can go. The hardest thing was getting the lid of the urn. The scattering I could handle.
You can play the clown, but I know how much this has cost you. I'm glad you went.
Love at a funeral. Eros postmortem. Is it suitable for a young lady in mourning to fraternize with bachelors? Konstancja Shabłowska, the Warsaw Courier. Could I ask for a brief comment?
Hyena.
Thank you. And you, sir?
So, we've apparently walked into a 1905 tabloid scandal here, although I'm not sure how many action shots they're trying to catch with those cameras. They aren't exactly rapid fire. I guess if it just goes still for 5 minutes straight and looks scandalous, we'll make tomorrow's headlines.
I can sort it out, but it might cause you some trouble.
It's not worth getting your hands dirty over.
Get out of here, or I might decide you're attacking an Imperial official, and you'll wake up tomorrow in the Citadel.
Are you threatening me, Judge?
I'm actually spurring you from him. Would you rather try your luck with a thaumaturge? Come on, children. I'm sure my Pietia is already waiting for us at home.
I'd love to see my cousin.
Are you coming with us?
Thanks.
Get in. I'm sure the lawyer is already waiting for us.
Alright, so we've come to our family home here. We've got another tram stop, and yet again more places locked on the map. We could take a look around here, but honestly I don't think it's essential right now. Pretty sure we'll be back here later anyway for something more relevant. Let's get in out the rain and check on what our family home looks like.
Young Mr. Shulsky, after all these years, goodness gracious, you're drenched!
Good evening, Grażynka.
Evening. My, you're soaked. Come to the kitchen now. You can warm up by the stove. And that drunken judge, maybe you can drag him out too.
Where's my sister?
In the study, already waiting with the lawyer. She said you were running late. Should I make you some cocoa, master? It would warm you up a little.
We're running late. Didn't we just arrive at the same time as my sister and uncle?
Make an extra creamy one for Ligia.
Oh, I won't skimp on her. Now, your sister's putting a brave face on all this, but she's really having a hard time. It's lovely to see you again. But that's enough jabber for now. I've got the guests and the cocoa, and I've got to whip up some food for you all later. We'll talk soon.
Okay, so it looks like she's been looking after us since we were children. I think I'm going to go and have an explore. This guy's chatting away about me like I'm not standing right behind him. How very rude. Hello, I'm right here behind you. Portrait of father on the wall.
I don't want to put my foot in my mouth again. I already failed to recognize someone once today, but you look familiar.
Well, I should think so. I was the victim of one of your starling hunts. Voronins must not be very memorable, cousin.
Pietia! Forgive me, and for shooting you as well. How are you doing?
Just some heart problems, not a subject for today. I'm sorry about Uncle Stanislav. Forgive me for not coming to the funeral. I can't bear cemeteries.
We'll have to meet up again.
Goodbye.
Wow, that was a short and sweet catch-up with our long-lost cousin there. Let's check the journal and see what it says about him. Yep, not much there. Doesn't seem like we had much of a bond to begin with, so moving on. Again, looks like we've got a few things worth checking out in this room here. A recipe book there. Oh, a liqueur recipe. And we get another thaumaturge point. So I'm just going to go for the perfect efficiency, just get everything nice and even in the skill tree. Then we need to look at getting action-reaction skill afterwards. Let's speak to Voronin.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. I thought I'd have to drink alone.
So many goodies laid out for the guests. Having trouble picking something for yourself, Judge?
But this was Stashio's. It was special. Amber liqueur with quinces.
I think you mean quince liqueur with amber, right? If it's not here, I'm sure it's in the basement. But I won't grope around down there in the dark now. I've got my hands full.
Now, I don't want to trouble you either. Victor, could you track down a little bottle for your uncle?
I suppose I'm obligated to accept this mission.
Good lad. A nephew like you is a treasure.
Alright, I think at this point we'll call time on this episode. It's been a story-heavy one with plenty of cutscenes, but we have made progress. We filled out some more of our skill tree and locked in some solid damage over time abilities. Next time we dig deeper into my father's past and uncover more secrets hidden in the streets of Warsaw. If you've got any skill build advice, drop it in the comments and let me know if I'm making smart moves or steering this playthrough straight into a midlife meltdown. Thanks for anybody that has watched, and I'll see you next time in 1905 Warsaw. Bye for now.